One for the News First team, I'm Ditmini De Silva. Let's start off with a look at the headlines. Farmlands at risk due to the water crisis. Ambilipitia farmers' Satyagraha continues. 97,000 people affected due to the arid weather conditions. Showers in Kantale affect the paddy harvests. Registration of the Sri Lanka Automobile Association suspended. The Satyagraha campaign launched by farmers of the Walava zone in Ambilipitia is ongoing for the 18th day.
Farmers launched the Satyagraha campaign demanding water for their farmlands and are saying that authorities should take measures to provide compensation based on the situation. Although water was released from the Samanala River to the Walava Reservoir, farmlands of the Mayurapura Mahavali zone on the Walava left bank have not received water thus far. 47 hectares of paddy fields are at risk of being destroyed. Farmers are taking great efforts to divert the remaining water from the Bopale tank to their farmlands using pipes. Paddy and other crops in many areas are also at risk. Farmlands in Mayurapura zone in Hambantota use water from the Udawalava reservoir, and these crops are being destroyed due to the lack of water. Farmers said 10,000 hectares of crops including pumpkin, cucumber and papaya were also destroyed due to lack of water. Farmlands in Angunakola Palassa have not received water either. Farmers in the area allege that farmers of Bualiara have forcefully blocked the main irrigation tank and diverted the water from the tank. They said authorities have failed to respond, although they were informed of the issue. Many areas have been affected by the dry weather conditions, and the number of people affected is 97,579. Report issued by the Disaster Management Centre shows that Ratnapura, Trincomalee, Putlam, Kurunagala, Jaffna, Mena, Mullative and Badula districts have been affected the most. The number of affected families is 30,155. Jaffna district has been the most affected, with the number of people being affected 69,113. The Department of Meteorology predicts showers or thunder showers in the eastern and Uva provinces and in Mullative and Vaunia districts during the evening or night. The department predicted a few showers in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in Gaul, Matara, Kandy and Noredi districts. It was reported that the harvest of the Kantale area of the eastern province were ruined by rainfall. Farmers say that paddy that was drying in areas such as Agbopura, Jayantipura was ruined by showers last night.
Chairman of the Paddy Marketing Board, Attorney Buddhika Idamalgoda, said paddy storages in Hambantota were closed as there is a decrease in the paddy stocks provided by farmers.
It has been nearly a month since the Paddy Marketing Board commenced purchasing paddy. We commenced purchasing paddies at 34 centres in 6 districts. We were only able to purchase around 2 million kilograms of paddy. This is because farmers are still hesitant to provide paddy to the Paddy Marketing Board, because I believe that they are under the impression that they can get a higher rate for their harvest if there is a drought. So they will attempt to store it for around a month because they want to get the best price for their harvest. That is what the regional officers have informed us.
The farmers engaged in cultivation amidst many obstacles are not only affected by the water crisis. Threats from wild animals have made them further helpless.
Farmers say that about half of the cultivation under the Horavilla Lake in Notriagama Vilpattu was destroyed by wild elephants. They pointed out that a herd of elephants come to the village from the Vilpattu reserve and that the electric fence around the reserve is of no use. As this is the harvest season of the Uhan area of Ampara, encroaching of wild elephants cannot be prevented. Last night, 2 elephants have destroyed many crops including bananas, eggplants and manioc.
News First with the people. Be the first to know about the biggest stories as they break. Subscribe to News First English News Alerts. News First, your trusted English news channel.
In other local news, the Fort Magistrates Court on Thursday issued an order preventing the Inter-University Students' Federation from engaging in a protest march in Colombo. The IUSF is barred from entering the areas where the President's Office, Finance Ministry, President's House are located at, and also not allowed to enter Golface Green and the section from Golface Roundabout to NSA Roundabout to Ceramic Junction. Colombo Chief Magistrate Thilina Gamage issued the order against 10 individuals, including IUSF convener Madhushan Chandrajit, Venerable Galveva Siridama Thero, and Venerable Ratkarawe Jinaratana Thero. They are not allowed to protest and march in the aforementioned areas from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Thursday. Moving on to more local news, the Supreme Court has informed that a referendum is required for the amendment of certain sections of the Ayurveda Amendment Bill.
නිවේදනය කිරීමට කැමැත්තෙමි. ආයුර්වේද සංශෝධන නැමැති පනත් කෙටුම්පතේ ව්‍යවස්ථානුකූල භාවය සම්බන්ධයෙන් ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණයේ තීරණය මතු සඳහන් පරිදි වේ. 1. පනත් කෙටුම්පතේ 2, 3, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40 සහ 41 වගන්ති ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ 9 වෙනි ව්‍යවස්ථාව.
Meanwhile, a debate took place in Parliament on Thursday regarding the time allotted for main parliamentary work.
I'm drawing attention to regulations 22 and 23 of Parliament business based on several concerns which arose over the past 2 days. Main parliamentary business were not prioritized over the past 2 days. This agenda has a basis, but time allotted for main work in Parliament has reduced. I am proposing to direct the attention of the Committee on Parliamentary Business, the Chief Government Whip and the Chief Opposition Whip towards this. If not, main business becomes less prioritized.
ප්‍රධාන දේ වෙලා මලගෙදර දෙවෙනි දණ්ඩ වටනවා වගේ වැඩ. නියෝජ්‍ය කතානායකතුමනි මේ ප්‍රශ්නේම මම පසුගිය පක්ෂ නායක රැස්වීමේදී මතක කරා.
I raised the same concern at the last party leaders meeting. Opposition MPs and some government MPs ask a lot of unrelated questions during the time allotted for oral questions. That cannot be done under standing orders. I have been in Parliament since 1989 and this didn't happen before. The chair has a responsibility to stop it. When Karuja Surya was here, only 1 hour was allocated for oral questions. Now they ask many questions during oral questions because they're speaking to the media.
ඒ නිසා මේ පිළිබඳව දැඩි අවධානයක් යොමු කරන්න ආණ්ඩු පක්ෂයේ ප්‍රධාන සංගීතයකටත් ඒකේ වගේ.
The Chief Government Whip and the Chief Opposition Whip cannot direct Parliament. That should be done by the chair.
හොඳයි අද මම පුළුවන් තරම් උත්සාහ කරනවා ඒකට. දයසිරි ජයසේකර මහත්මයා කෙටියෙන්ම කියන්න නැත්නම් අර කතා කරපු පැත්තේ ආයි වෙන්නේ.
General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Dayasiri Jayasekara, questioned the country's Foreign Affairs Minister on the agreements reached with India.
ඉන්දියාව සමග ඔබතුමාලා ගිවිසුම් ගන්නවකට ඇතුළත් වුණයි කියලා අපි දැනගෙන තිබෙනවා. නමුත් අපි දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවද මේ එකඟ වුණ ගිවිසුම් කියලා. විශේෂයෙන්ම
We understand that agreements were reached with India. However, we are unaware what those agreements are. It is reported that the President has made a proposal with regard to the Setu Samudram. It is also reported that discussions took place regarding Trincomalee as well. Sri Lanka should work closely with India and we respect them as well. However, our territorial integrity and sovereignty must be protected over personal agendas. What measures and decisions were taken? Please inform the Parliament.
සඳහා ගන්නා වූ ක්‍රියාමාර්ග පිළිබඳව ඔබතුමා ගත්ත තීන්දුව ටික කරුණාකර මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා අහන්න කැමතියි.
ගරු නියෝජ්‍ය කතානායකතුමනි විශේෂයෙන්ම ඉන්දියාවත් එක්ක අපි
All agreements with India were reached with complete transparency and were aimed at further strengthening ties. The President and Prime Minister discussed matters and if necessary they would be presented to the Parliament. These are matters that were approved by the Cabinet of Ministers as well. India is currently the 5th largest economy in the world and would become the 3rd by 2030 and the 2nd by 2050. Sri Lanka has a plethora of needs. That is why we are attempting to manage the challenges, reap the benefits from the opportunities given and develop the country without becoming prisoners of the past. We will not do anything that would harm the country. We will manage the situation and cater to the needs of the country. Sri Lanka first is our foreign policy. I can state treat it with responsibility.
අවශ්‍යතාවය තියෙන්නේ අපේ රටේ අවශ්‍යතාවය. අපේ ෆොරින් පොලිසි එක ශ්‍රී ලංකා ෆස්ට්. ඒක මම ඔබතුමාට වගකීමෙන් කියනවා. ඒ අනුව තමයි අපි සියලු දේ කරන්නේ.
A protest was held last night in Hinguragoda Katukaliaba village in Polonnaruwa, demanding electricity tariffs to be reduced. The protesters allege that they who are suffering from economic problems are further left helpless owing to unaffordable electricity bills. They further added due to the non-payment of bills, electricity has been suspended in about 30 houses in the village during the past few days.
It used to be 800 rupees, but it is now 8,000 rupees. How can we afford this?
The goods in the house were pawned to pay the electricity bill. Now there's nothing to even pawn.
The Sri Lankan government has decided to impose a permit fee of 3 rupees on every kilogram of exported tea. An extraordinary gazette was issued bearing the signature of Niraj Timel, the chairman of the Sri Lanka Tea Board. A permit fee of 3 rupees on every kilogram of made tea shall be paid by every registered exporter of tea at the time of which the customs goods declaration is approved by the Tea Commissioner. All fees charged shall be credited to the Capital Fund established under Section 14 of the Sri Lanka Tea Board Law No. 14 of 1975. Moving on to other local news, the United Citizens Organization expressed views at a press conference held in Colombo on Wednesday.
Allegations were made regarding attempts to topple the government. There is no government left to topple. The people of this country defeated the Rajapaksa regime 1 year ago. So there is no government in this country. This is a state of anarchy. This is a junta by people who took over power.
The Sri Lankan Scout team, which is participating in the 25th World Scout Jamboree in Korea, left for activities this morning. They will only participate in domestic activities on Thursday due to heavy showers experienced in many parts of South Korea as a result of the Kanun storm.
Activities අදත් තියෙනවා ඊයේත් තිබුණා ඒවට අපි මෙතනින් පිටට යනවා වෙන බාලදක්ෂයොත් හම්බ වෙනවා වෙන රටවල බාලදක්ෂයෝ.
There are outdoor activities and we engage in those activities. Everything has been organized well and the teams are healthy mentally and physically. Given the situation, we are engaged in Jamboree activities from multiple locations. We will meet again together at the Olympic Stadium for the finale, and thereafter the Sri Lankan team will engage in educational and cultural excursion in South Korea. We will return to Sri Lanka on the 17th of August.
සංචාරයක දෙනවා අධ්‍යාපනික සහ සංස්කෘතික කටයුතු නැරඹීමට සහ ඒවා අත්දැකීමට. ඊට පසු 16 වෙනිදා රැ මෙහෙන් පිටත් වෙනවා 17 වෙනිදා කොළඹට අපි ළඟා වෙනවා.
Divi Savya, the second leg of the Divi Savya program to provide much needed school books and stationery items to school children in Sri Lanka. 11th of August, Kandy.
දෛ දරුවන්ගේ අනාගතය වෙනුවෙන් දිවි සවිය LOLC ප්‍රජා සත්කාරක මෙහෙවර.
Amid political turmoil and an ongoing economic crisis, Pakistan dissolved its parliament late on Wednesday on the recommendation of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, setting the stage for a general election.
The dissolution has paved the way for a caretaker government to oversee elections in which former President Imran Khan will be unable to participate. Khan was jailed over the weekend for being convicted of corruption in one of the several cases filed against him since his removal from office in April 2022. Foreign media reports the Pakistani president has given the outgoing government 3 days to appoint a new interim prime minister and 90 days to hold general elections. However, the outgoing government has warned that the elections may be delayed until next year.
A candidate in Ecuador's forthcoming presidential election has been shot dead at a campaign rally.
Fernando Villavicencio, a member of the country's National Assembly, was attacked as he left the event in northern city of Quito on Wednesday. A member of his campaign team told local media that he was getting into a car when a man stepped forward and shot him in the head. Current President Guillermo Lasso vowed, quote, "Crime will not go unpunished," end quote. Witnesses said Villavicencio, 59, was shot 3 times. The country's Attorney General said on social media the suspect was also shot in an exchange of bullets with security and later died from his injuries. The first round of the presidential election is scheduled to take place on the 20th of August. Lasso, who will not be on the ballot, said he was, quote, "outraged and shocked," end quote, by killing, adding, quote, "Organized crime has come a long way, but the full weight of the law is going to fall on them," end quote.
United States law enforcement officials have shot and killed a Utah man who allegedly made threats against President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg ahead of a scheduled presidential visit to the state. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the domestic U.S. intelligence agency, said its agents attempted to serve search and arrest warrants early on Wednesday to the residence of Craig Robertson in Provo, Utah, south of Salt Lake City. Unnamed law enforcement sources told the Associated Press that Robertson was armed when the incident took place. Foreign media reports the FBI released a statement saying the shooting was under review. The agency said the FBI takes all shooting incidents involving our agents or task force members seriously. The shooting comes amid increased fears of political violence in the U.S., particularly in the wake of the attack on the U.S. Capitol on the 6th of January 2021. The registration of the Sri Lanka Automobile Association has been suspended with immediate effect through a special gazette notification issued by Minister of Sports Roshan Ranasinghe. And that's a wrap of the lunchtime news. Join us again at 9 p.m. for primetime news on TV1.